And Fernand, I'll start with you first. We know that Florida has a large abundance of people who are on chip. In a state like that, can the members of Congress from Florida afford not to push to renew chip, and why haven't they pushed for it?
It's an excellent question, Joy. You know, Florida and many other states would be decimated, Florida's children, other children, and I think it leads to the question, is it any surprise that the party that is pro-pay-for-play, pro-Putin, and now with Roy Moore, pro-pedophilia, the fact that they're anti-children, is that any surprise? I don't think it is. And I think, Joy, this is emblematic, this chip scenario where you mentioned 9 million children without health insurance. I think if you take a step back, one has to ask themselves, and I think the American people should ask themselves the broader question, what has the Republican Party in the last 10 years done to help the American people? What have they done? This is not a political party. This is a domestic terror group. And what I think the American people should consider when they ask themselves that question with a party that has done nothing to help the American people is to vote them out and consider possibly afterwards locking them up, Joy.
Well, I'm going to go to Caton on that. I'm sure Caton has thoughts on that. Caton, I know you're not a fan of the Affordable Care Act, but can the party really, get away with the idea of not renewing this program? It's 9 million kids.
I would predict to you that the party or the politicians will find a way to make this palatable and affordable, and they already have addressed it in the House. It's pretty tough to leave 9 million children behind, and that won't happen. At the end of the day, we're still talking about the Affordable Care Act. I understand why Donald Trump is taking zero ownership of it. That's good politics, and from his standpoint, that's where he'll stay. So I would predict to you that children matter no matter what side of the aisle you're on. You can make it as political as you care to. For 8 years, we had President Obama. We've now got President Trump. It cuts across all lines. That program will stay safe, and it will be, in the end of the day, being funded. Now, where they'll find the money to replace that, that's a whole nother question, because, as we know, the collapse of the rates and the increases in the Affordable Care Act are now coming home in 2017, and the jury's still out on who owns health care.
Well, I mean, we know that the individual market is having some issues.